Welcome to part 2 of the Yellow Submarine tutorial. We just got done with modeling the basic submarine, and now we're going to be modeling the periscope, the rudder, and the propeller. So let's get started. So I'm going to be adding a cylinder, and we're going to be enter wireframe so we can see our cylinder, and we're going to be scaling it down. Do something about right there, and I'm just going to go into edit mode, zoom in a little bit, deselect everything with A. I'm going to use the box selection, which is the B key. I'm going to select the top of the vertices and extrude upwards. Extrude. And I'm going to be rotating it with the R key. So you should get something that looks a little bit like this. We exit out of wireframe, and there we go. We got our periscope. Now I'm going to touch this up real quick because I do not like the location right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use the C key to select everything. And with the C key, something to take in mind is when you have it active, right click will select, middle click or the middle mouse wheel is to deselect, and to deactivate the C key entirely, you use the right mouse click. So going back to it, so I've selected that mesh and I'm just kind of moving it so it doesn't look so jagged. So we got our periscope done. And I think it's a little big, so let's scale it down a little bit. Now let's create our parasol. Go to the Shift A for add a new mesh, and you're going to be rudder. Sorry, it's called the rudder. We're going to be creating a plane, and we're going to rotate it along the y-axis by 90 degrees. I'm going to be scaling it down to about the size of the rotor, and I'm going to scale it along the z-axis. I'm just going to pull it down. And I'm going to get out of wireframe. I'm going to look at our rudder. And we're going to notice that it's very flat. And we want to make it thicker. So what we'll do is we're going to go to the modifier panel. And this is up here. Right here with the wrench. That is the modifying panel. So we're going to go to add modifier. I'm going to go down to where it says solidify. And this modifier makes an object that is flat, thicker in width. So we're going to go to thickness, and I figured out that 0.2 is a good thickness, and that is our rudder. And our rudder is now done. And so what we do is we go to 3 to go back to side view, Z to go into wireframe, and we're going to go down to the rudder. I'm just going to left click on the rudder so we get that reticle on it. And we're going to do Shift A, and we're going to create a mesh, and we're going to create a cylinder. Now, this cylinder has 12 vertices. You can see it over here on the left, on the added cylinder. If you select another object, and then go back to the, if you edit the cylinder, this panel will disappear. So make sure you don't edit it until you have added in the specifications on the left. So by default, it should be something around 31 or 32. 32 vertices, I believe, if I could ever type in. So it should look something like that by default, but I have changed it down to 12. So now that we have our cylinder that has 12 vertices, I'm going to go back to the side view, and I'm going to rotate it along the x-axis by 90, and then click enter. And I'm just going to pull it down a little bit so it makes it easier for us to model it. And I'm just going to go into edit mode with the object. I'm going to box select. And I'm going to drag it along. Something that looks like that. I'm going to use another box select. And I'm going to extrude and scale down. Do something about like that. And now I'm just going to extrude out. And that looks good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click 1 and go to the front view. And I notice that it's kind of overlapping, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into object mode and pull our mesh down more, and then go back into edit mode. And I'm going to select the vertices and just grab them down. Now I'm holding down shift to select more than one vertex or to select multiple vertices. So we should get a propeller that looks like this. Now I'm going to exit edit mode, and I'm going to scale it down. And I'm just going to pull it up into the mesh and pull it out a little bit. So it should look something like this. And there we go. We got our submarine that has been modeled, our periscope that has been modeled, rudder that has been modeled, and rudder that has been modeled. Propeller that has been modeled. And we shall continue this in part 3, where we teach you how to animate and add and apply materials to it. And we'll see you there.